Hi, everybody. I was having a slight camera issue. It was not going to my overhead camera. It was going to the camera actually on my laptop. And I went, you don't want to see me. You want to see what we're going to do today. So last week hi Myrna, hi Kim. Last week when I made my little folio, I made this shaker element for the front of it. And when I was signing off, I guess I was signing off a little quicker than I should have because people were starting to ask me to make this with them. So I thought that today I would come on quickly because we're leaving to go camping on Sunday and I still have to pack up lots of stuff. I would just make the shaker element or a shaker element and kind of give you my tips and tricks that I've learned as I've been creating. Good morning or good afternoon, Jan. So let's get started. So we all know shaker elements. We all know that you got to have a piece of plastic or acetate or heavy packing from a container to actually create what's going to hold your shaker mix in place. And Tammy, I've got these two that I've gotten from Tammy over the last little while. This is the birthday bling and the desert sky. I'm not sure she still has them in stock because I didn't get a chance to look. But anything that will give you bling, I usually mix things together. I don't usually use all of one. This one is really cool because it's got these, this is the desert sky. And it really does look, because it's got little stars, and then it's got these little dewdrops that you not only could use in a shaker element, but you could use them to embellish on your project as well. So that's just two of the many that she has in stock, and I am sure she will be getting more because shakers are kind of all the rage right now, and everybody, hi Tiffany, glad you could join us. And everybody sort of wants to be making a shaker card. So that's what this is all about. And you know what? You can make your own shaker stuff too. You know that foam, fun foam? If you took a little punch, you could punch out pieces of fun foam and use those in your shaker cards. I saw Jennifer use one of the teeny tiny little it was a little teeny tiny cut apart that she had from the collection she was working with. And she threw that in there loosely to make a shaker card. So there's so many ideas for what you can stick in them. And the only thing that's stopping you is your imagination. Now I want to bring you back to this one. So this is a Slimline card. And this is a die that Tammy is trying to bring into CCC, into the store. And what I did when I created this is not what we're going to create today because she doesn't have these in the store yet. But how I created this one is I used my die cutting machine, not a Cricut. And you certainly, well, you want to use this die. So what I did is I ran the die through once with cardstock. So this is Artisan. Hi, Tina. This is Artisan cardstock I used. And then what I used to give it the lift it needed so I could put my shaker elements inside it, I used 3 sheets of thin cardstock. And this particular die on my machine would run it through. I had to cut numerous times to get it to actually cut it out. So that's how I got all my little compartments the way they were. And then what I did is I ran through a piece of the pattern paper. Actually, I think I ran through more than one piece of pattern paper. And then I sort of picked what I wanted to put where, added my shaker elements, then laid down the cardstock that had the acetate attached to it, making sure to glue, so that all my my shaker elements will stay in their own little compartment. And then, of course, I decorate it. So be on the lookout for these in Tammy's store. If I see them, I will try to make a post and say, here's those dies I was talking about. But she's trying to get them. And I think if I recalled correctly, it's an American source. And yeah, so that's just another little thing to look forward to, moving forward with the shaker cards, elements. And when I made the cards that went with this particular paper set, which is the Summer 6x6 mega pad. So I've managed to make 8 cards out of this pad. Unfortunately, I've given the shaking cards away to people, so I don't have them to show you today. And this little folio that I made last week. So this mega pad can go a long ways and would be great for all those summer things going on. You know, little housewarming card for somebody, stick a gift card in it for somebody's birthday, and you're good to roll, because with the stamp set that comes with it, I believe, I thought it said happy birthday on it, but I don't see it right now. But it's a great stamp set too. All right, so let's get started on what we're going to create today. Now, when I did this, for simplicity, I used the chipboard and frames that came with the collection. If you didn't want to use the chipboard and frames, if you can cut it out by hand without slicing your fingers, cut out on lightweight chipboard 3 layers or 4 layers of a square, a rectangle, you know, remembering to cut out the inside of it. See, the reason I'm not doing it that way is I will cut myself. And you could create it that way. You could also use the ephemera frames and tags, I think is what it's called, because they sometimes have some little frames in them. Build it up using chipboard, and you can literally just put the chipboard around the outer edges. Or, and I know Tammy is trying to get these in the store, these are 3D foam strips, and I love them. I use two thicknesses, so I use 2 strips to make my height, and it gives me enough clearance so I can have my shaker elements in my cards. So it's 3D foam strips. I didn't see Tammy come on today, but if she is in there and I didn't see her, maybe she can say yes, she's getting them, or no, she couldn't find them, because we talked yesterday about this. Maybe if I take it out of this out of the package, it won't glare as much. It's still glaring. So 3D foam strips are on their way to Tammy's store. So this makes it easy. And I'm going to give you another little trick before we get started. And I cannot take credit for this trick because it's not mine. I was watching a lady on YouTube, and Tammy sells in the store the Crafty foam tape. This is the 108 feet. It's the thinner one, which happens to be the one I tend to prefer when I'm popping things up. I sometimes use my thicker one, but more often than not, I go with this thin. And it's probably, I don't know, it's probably, so I'm going to talk millimeters. It's about 1 millimeter thick. And when I'm saying thick, that's from the sticky side to the sticky side. Okay. And what this lady was saying is lay your strips of your foam tape onto a piece of parchment. And then either you could cut it with Teflon scissors. I did not have great success with that because I can't cut a straight line. So what I did is I ran it through my paper cutter. And, you know, I'm pretty impressed. This one's a little on the thin side, but I'm pretty impressed with what I ended up with. So here, this is another tiny solution to the problem, because you want it thicker than the 1 millimeter. Like this is a 2 millimeter thickness. So if you were using the 1 millimeter stuff, you're going to need 4 four layers of that to get you enough height. So I think I've talked enough. Let's get started and let's create a shaker element. So I'm going to start with this smaller, no, I'm going to start with this one. So what I've got is I've got this watermelon frame, which I thought was kind of cool. I got a piece of acetate, which I know is going to be hard to see. I wonder if it's easier if I have it on something. Yeah, okay, because I was shaking it, you guys could see it. So, hi, Patty. So I cut down my piece of acetate to fit on the back of my frame. Okay. I don't use art glitter glue for this application because I don't have enough patience to wait for this stuff to actually, the glue to dry. So I'm using the thinnest score tape I've got. And the one I had in my stash at this moment in time is in millimeters, so I'm not going to quote this, but it's pretty much the equivalent to 1/8 of an inch, which Tammy also sells in the store over at Country Craft. And all I am going to do is I am running my score tape right up against that outer edge, like so. And the reason I do this first is because when I lay this piece of acetate down, if I don't have my tape on it right at the beginning, I'm going to lose it on my work surface. Trust me, I'm going to lose it on my work surface. Because any of you that watch me create know I just keep getting smaller and smaller. My space gets smaller and smaller. So if you've got any questions while we're doing this, please type them in there and I will try to answer them. And who knows, maybe if I don't have the answer, somebody that's on will have the answer to the question. So of course, because it's score tape, we want to burnish it. Okay, set this out of our way. And I'm going to get rid of this right now. Keep these out in case I need them. And this is going to go over here too. I'm going to remove. Oh, good, Jen. I'm glad. That's what this today is all about. It's not about creating a real project. It's just about talking about shaker elements because they're so popular. And the things that I have discovered on my journey with shaker elements, because I am a novice at them too. I haven't been making them that long. Part of me was a little scared to just think that, oh, well, could I do one of them? Could I use them? So when you lay the acetate down, what you're trying to do is make sure you're getting coverage and your tape is going to be adhering to the chipboard. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little burnish so it adheres. So now you've got your acetate. So when we start building, we'll have a place to put things. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to decide on what I refer to the paper that's underneath this as my background paper. So I've decided that with these watermelon slices, I thought this stripe paper would look great tucked in behind it as the backing for my shaker. So again, I am just going to do a quick measurement, and I'm going to say that when I cut down my acetate, I cut it down to about 2 5/8 plus a 1/16. And I know that's going to drive you guys nuts when I say it like that. Let me just double check that's my correct measurement, because I don't have another piece of this because I'm down to the end. Yeah, I'm going to say 2 5/8 plus a 1/16. So, and of course, not being I'm good to the 16th, but to go back to 2 and get to the, yeah, no, it's not going to happen in my world. So there's 2 5/8, and the next little dot over on my cutter is the 16th mark. So there's that part of it. And then I'm just going to do a quick little dry fit to make sure, oh yeah, I'm going to be happy. And then the other measurement I'm going to take is the length of my little frame. And the length of this frame is about 4 3/8. So I'm going to bring that back about a 16th again. So 4 3/8, or I'm going to add a 16th. Give me a second here. You know, this is the joys of us doing these lives. So it's 3/8. So there's my quarter. There's my 3/8. So I just want to bring it back just a little bit. So about a 16th. You never know, we might use that someplace else. And then there is the backing of our little shaker card. Now, again, I am going to use score tape to adhere this, or when it finally gets adhered. You're putting your tape on the right side. So whatever it is that you're going to want to see underneath your frame, that's the side that you are putting your score tape on. I wish I would have had one a little thinner than this, because this is a tad on the thick side for me. But I didn't have 1/8 of an inch today. Must remember to add that to an order. So I hope everybody's having great weather. We're pretty hot here today, and for our week of camping, it's supposed to be smoking hot, so I'm happy about that. Going to be doing my fair share of kayaking, dog walking, relaxing, eating food I shouldn't eat, just having a good time, recharging. So I just want to make sure that I'm not going to see any of my tape, which I'm not, which is making me happy. So let's just leave this away. Is it hot, Myrna, at your place this week? It's only started to get hot here in the last, I'm going to say last 2 days. Up until then, we've been having some rain, and I'm not begrudging rain because we sure needed the rain. Okay, so I'm using these strips, or you could use my other trick, which is cut your foam tape. And I like to lay my tape right along the edge of the chipboard frame. And you do want to make sure that you are getting coverage all the way around. And yes, I keep even the smallest pieces because they come in handy for something like that corner. So let's do the other side. Oh, Teresa, oh no, I wouldn't want tornado watches. Mind you, our concern here is because we're having such a hot June, and June is our rainy month. The concern is that we're going to have a bad fire season. Hello, Diane. How are you? Nice that you could join us. So what we're doing today is we're just doing a little class on making a shaker element, because I did a folio last week and people were asking me to make the element that was on the front of it. And so I went, we'll just come on quickly. We won't be on forever and ever. At least that's the plan. And just create the element. So again, I just used a small piece. I'm going to take another piece. Yes, I bet they would be scary. Oh, there's Tammy. She's joined us. Hello, Tammy. Unless it's Tanya. No, it's Tammy. So Tammy, I was telling them that you are going to order this into the store, the 3D foam strips? I'll just let you confirm that that's what's happening. Oh, yeah, no, I don't like, wouldn't want a tornado. We don't have to deal with tornadoes where I live. Haha, not me. Not me what, Tammy? You didn't order or you can't get them? Oh, you're running back and forth. Okay, then I'm not going to pressure you with that. So now I'm taking the backing off my first layer. Oh, it'll be here next week. Awesome. So check it out. It'll be in the store next week. And like I say, it's a time saver. The 2 layers work well. The problem with cutting it yourself is if you don't cut straight like I don't, or I'm not a very straight cutter freehanding things, it causes a problem. Now, and your finger gets stuck to the back side of it, and your hand is stuck to it. See, I just never know. Because when I see that your picture come up, sometimes it's Tanya. Well, actually, not on the lives. No, then it's her. Because I see, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take a pair of tweezers to kind of pick that off. And these tweezers came in a set that Kim sent me at Christmas time, and that was very kind of her. And I use them often, Kim, so thank you. And yes, they are very sharp. So as you can see, using the tweezers helps too. If you don't take all the foam backing off of your other layer, your first layer, you might have a little bit more success not getting your hands stuck in it. So here's another little trick I'm going to throw your way right now, is where I use that little piece along with the big piece. When I lay down my second layer, I'm starting at that end. So just like, you know, when you used to play with Lego, how if you wanted to build a strong wall, you had to build your wall like a bricklayer. Well, it's the same thing for this. So there's that. And we're going to use another little piece. And cut it. Get rid of that one. And I'm going to go to my next layer. So on the edge of it, it's got some thicker pieces. I'm going to put my thicker pieces together because I will use them on another card and just make my layers a bit wider when I have enough of the same size. So 2 of these sheets come in each package, or at least the package I have. It says there's 76 pieces. All right, so we're just about ready to start the fun part of this card, deciding on what we're going to put inside this element. Now I'm going to show you something else. And this idea comes from Jennifer Palmer because she showed one day how she stores her shaker elements. So I've got myself this drawer. Some of this came from Tammy's store. Some of this came from other places. But keep them all together because you never know what mix, what recipe you're going to create. I think I'm going to throw those in there too because I kind of like that. Kind of summery. Now, these did not come from Tammy's store. It's just something I have in my stash. So I thought, since I like them so much, I am going to use them. Now, give me 1 second because I need to put something down on my mat to keep things from flying around. So 1 minute, please. Sorry. not exactly what I wanted, but this will work too. So it's just a gushy mat. I could have also used, yes, I could have used my McGill flower shaping mat, and that's what I think I will use. So here's my frame that I built up, and now I'm going to add some wonderful stuff to the inside. Hello, Miss Sally. You were sneaking in on me. So I'm going to start with some of the happy birthday. And I kind of put in whatever I think I want. I think we're going to add a little bit of this to my mix. I think they will be fine. I'm not going to put too many because they're the little dewdrops are a little thicker. And then for the last part, I'm going to use these. And then for a little bit of sparkle, I have some little iridescent stars. Hello, Miss Fauna. Nice that you could join us today. And I'm kind of giving it a pinch. So Sally, I do bake. I bake when I'm making my shaker elements because I use a little of that and a little of this. And then all we're going to do is put that over to the side so you don't send it flying. I'll explain why I put it on the mat in a second. Let's just get the backing off of this. So the shaker elements, or shaker sprinkles, whatever we want to call this mixture, it is almost like glitter. It's crazy. It will fly around and it's just awful. So as you're peeling the backing off of the last layer, be really, really careful that you don't set the whole thing flying, because I have done that. And now my finger's attached to the glue, so that's not good. Let's just get this little gizmo. There we go. Use my tweezers. And you want to do this carefully. No, I don't bake, Sally. And I admit it. I get no satisfaction from baking. I get more satisfaction creating a mini album than I'd ever get from baking. The first time Sally found out that I was not a baker, she couldn't believe it. Oh yeah, Myrna, stuff is everywhere. So now all you want to do is you're lining this up with your adhesive, and hopefully my piece of paper is big enough. It's a little short on one side here. So next time we're going to measure. You want to make sure that you have coverage all the way around. I should have kept it a little wider, but it is covering, so I'm going to be happy. And there, you've created the shaker element. Now, I'm going to give you another trick. And the trick is, I'm just going to look quickly in here. Yeah, no. Oh, hang on. I do have some thinner score tape. This one is 1/8 of an inch. Who will kill you, Tammy? She will kill me? I don't understand. Let's put the lids back on our actual shaker bits and bobs. So hang on. I don't know who's going to kill her. Is it me? I don't know why I would. I'm going to move my little mat. So this is just a piece of artisan craft cardstock. And what I want to do is I want to cut a couple of 1/8 of an inch strips. You know, except when you cut it, it's crooked. So let's straighten this up again and then start over. So this was just, oh, is this what the part you're waiting for, Kim? So I'm just cutting 2/8 of an inch strips. Don't have to be precise unless you've got a bunch of OCD like I do. And what we're going to do with these 1/8 of an inch strips is we are going to put 1/8 of an inch score tape on one side of them. And this is a little thicker than what I've got, but we're going to make it work. So all that score tape that we now don't use when we're creating our projects, like our mini albums, because we now use the, sorry that my head got in the way, that we're now using the artisan glitter glue, not artisan, glitter glue. We can use it to make shaker cards. So let's get this second one on. Like so. And move that over there. Give it a good burnish. You're going, what are you going to use these for? I'll show you here in 2 seconds, or I could make a ha-ha and say in 2 shakes. Okay, so when I make my shaker elements, I don't like that when I'm laying it down on something, if I were to look sideways, I'm going to see the white foam tape. So I thought, how can I fix this? Oh, my little tiny ruler, Myrna. This is, so those of you that watch me know that I broke a Tim Holtz ruler. Like I don't even have the metal in it anymore because I broke the ruler. And my husband made me a little, it's like 3 3/4 inch ruler. I love it. I use it all the time. It is so handy. Now, because I'm hoping that my scissors will cut this, because my foam or my score tape was a little wider than my paper, it's not going to want to cut this. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to do this a different way. You're going to peel the backing. He is a good husband. You have no idea, Patty. Take that off the back of it. And now let's just fold over that overhang of the tape back onto itself, like so. If it'll work, and if it doesn't work, it won't matter either. It's working, but it's taking a long time to fold it back. So we'll just keep going. We're almost done. I didn't realize it was out of my narrowest width. See, if I buy score tape here in Canada, it comes in millimeters, not inches. He is, Myrna, he's very handy. So here's what we're going to do. I talked about the foam not wanting to see it. All I do is I take that 1/8 of an inch and I am butting it right up against the chipboard frame. Going around the corner, coming back up this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off because I don't want my end to be at the corner. Cut it off something like this. You could save it for something else if that's what you want to do. And And I'm going to peel the backing off the second piece. And again, I'm just going to kind of fold it over on itself. You don't have to, because you probably in most cases might be putting it right onto a project. Or the other thing you can do is you can make a bunch of shaker elements ahead of time and then wait for the perfect project and add them to it. I prefer to make my shaker elements as I do my projects, because I have a tough time envisioning it without a project. Okay, that should be good enough. All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this on top. So I'm starting where I left off, going around the corner. And the other thing this does, let's say you had a little hole and you had some glitter inside your shaker element, then the glitter is not going to fall out. Just going to cut this off. And put it over there. There's your shaker element. Now you have a nice finished edge. And now all you need is a project to put it on. You know what, Kim? That's why I had to come up with something, because when I made my shaker card, I didn't like seeing the chipboard. So I did exactly the same thing here. Is I used about 1/8 of an inch. Only on this, because this shaker card is, I don't know, like 9 1/8 long, I just ran the blue from edge to edge, and then I took some red and just did like little corners, just to give a little bit of accent or just another little embellishment on the card. So here's our shaker card. Now you can decorate it. It could go this way on your project. It could go this way on your project, whatever way you'd like to have it. And that's basically it. That is how easy shaker cards are. So remember, watch for these. Tammy is trying really hard to get these dies into the store. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend and an amazing week. I know I'm going to. And I will, actually, I'm taking my next design team project with me with the hopes that I might get time to do some decorating in it. And when I come back, I'll have a brand new project for to start with you guys. So have a great day. Get out and enjoy the sunshine. You're welcome. And I will see you on my next live. Have a great one. Bye.